All right, let's try to finish this episode. Yeah, I think my internet did something weird because it was not a copyright. So we're just going to keep rolling here. I'm going to say screw it. That was really weird. We're back on Twitch and YouTube. Let's see what happens.
Does a DDT on him, slams him down. 1, 2, 3, and that is it. Well, Scott Smith just not able to compete against Morton and Mantel and unable to get back. They kept him away from tagging Brian Lee. Brian started off the match very, very well against Mantel, and once Scott Smith got in there, they saw what they had, and they just kept him away from the corner, Dave.
Exactly. They kept him in there, beat him up 5 minutes, 1 second to time. Dutch Mantel and Ricky Morton get a win.
Yeah, they get the win, okay, and I'm sure they're proud of it. Okay, Dutch, fine. We got to take time out. We'll be back in just a moment.
Trying to share it on X here and Discord and YouTube.
Wrestling action coming to Hopkinsville, Kentucky on Thursday, February 16th, Convention Center at the Western Kentucky Fairgrounds. Tickets on sale at the Bargain Center, Greenville Road and East 7th Street. This coming Friday night, action in Madisonville, Kentucky at the Browning Springs Middle School. Make that. Tickets will be on sale night of the match. Wednesday night, Evansville, 5 big matches. Phil Hickerson opens up against Ken Wayne. Frankie Lancaster against
Outside minute
Steiner.
back on Twitch,
CWA tag title match. Robert Fuller, Jimmy Golden with Sylvia against Tracy Smothers and Jeff Jarrett. Big return tag team match, Dutch Mantel and Rick Morton against Wendell Cooley and Jerry the King Lawler, and that special penalty 6-man tag match. If any of the six members of this tag match loses, there's a different stipulation, a different penalty that goes along with it. Beauty and the Beast with Downtown Bruno take on Superstar Bill Dundee, the exotic Adrian Street, and the lovely Linda. 5 big matches all coming up this coming Wednesday night at the Evansville Coliseum. Hope to see you there. Of those 5 matches, that big return tag and that big special penalty match.
Now, P.Y. Chu-Hai, his whole Japanese...
P.Y. Chu-Hai.
Shogun, Samurai, Tojo, and here comes the wild-eyed Southern boy. Where the sun shines high, where you learn to drop a book with just one shot. Where a boy earns the right to become a man.
We got a 1-fall, 10-minute time limit match coming up here. Out of Springfield, Tennessee, 229 pounds in the ring on the right, Tracy Smothers, and going against him at a total weight of 289 pounds from Jackson, Tennessee, P.Y. Chu-Hai, sometimes known as Phil Hickerson. He's got
you called it right.
He's got the Japanese
Phil
name,
Hickerson.
the Samurai Shogun, at ringside, as Lance said, and Tojo has that kendo stick in the corner too. Tracy's his station of Tojo is stationing them around the ring. So they pretty well got all sides of the ring covered here, looks like.
Referee Jerry Calhoun's trying to take care of that right now. This could be a doggone good match, Dave, if we don't get a lot of outside interference in there, you know.
I think that's probably the key. If we can keep Tojo and the Japanese team out of it, it should be a good one in the middle of the ring.
Hickerson standing side headlock on Tracy. Tracy shucks him off, catches him with a hip toss, and builds him right out in the middle of the ring as Phil Hickerson may get a little more appreciation of the opponent that he has in there right now. No, he didn't have the tights. Of course, that's Yamamoto and Hickerson. They'll screen that, keep you off balance. Do not like...
It's like seeing some Tracy Smothers in here, quite frankly.
Samurai Shinji out here by this ring. Bad enough to have Tojo, but when you got 3 of them...
Nice, John. Welcome back in. Yeah, I don't think it was like a copyright thing. I think it was
Tracy Smothers.
It was an internet thing. I'll be right back.
Sight going at him right there with him
That gypsy doing
continually
something, my
hollering
dog.
about the tights.
Well, and Hickerson probably figures that he can keep working on the referee and maybe get that call, figuring that there's no way Tracy can move a 289-pounder around like that. No.
Chop, return with a fist up on top of the head.
P.Y. Chu-Hai, part of his wrestling attire, too, is a very well-taped right hand. You can see it right there.
And he uses that thing on that chop, boy. It's like hitting with a plaster Paris cast on your hand. Little test of strength in there. Tracy with very good height. He's a strong young man. That's not to say that P.Y. isn't. Woohoo! Tracy returned the foot to the midsection and takes Hickerson down to his knees. Uh-oh, jabbed him right smack in the throat. And that ended that assault.
Sure did. That's one of the dangerous things about P.Y. Chuhai and anybody from the Tojo Yamamoto stable. Boy, they find a small opening, they are going to go for it and try to hurt you and take you out of the rest of the match. And that's what he was trying to do right there. And so far, it looks like it's working for him as now P.Y. Chuhai is taking control. Chop across the center of the forehead. And here's Tojo with a kendo stick.
Hopping away with the end of that kendo stick on Tracy Smothers, and you can see the weld where he hit him right on the back. He nailed him hard. And there's the big chop from P.Y. Goes to the ribs with that jab into the fingers, which is illegal. The chop is okay, but not the stab with the end of the fingers, and particularly with his hand taped up the way it is. He zeroes in, and look at Yamamoto while the referee's backing P.Y. Chuhai away. Tojo rifles him one with that kendo stick, and now right back on Tracy Smothers. Oh. And a whip across the ring. Boy, there's that double hand right straight at the throat. Catches him with that cross, decks him down, picks him up, and Tracy foot in the midsection, but it doesn't stop.
Well,
That little short back of the fist. And that's where that tape really helped, Dave.
Oh. He tried it once before. This time, Shogun tripped Tracy up as he came off the rope. Reed talks to him about it. He folds his arms and no, I didn't do a thing. I was behaving myself. Right.
Ugh.
Well, that's exactly what we were saying earlier. It could be a great match if they'll stay outside. Look at Shogun now. Just reaches up, pokes him in the eye, chops him right there at the bend on the ankle. Whip across the ring. Leapfrog from Trace. Oh! Caught him with that super kick right under the chin. Boy, a beauty. Yamamoto pitches in the kendo stick. Clothesline him, and the referee saw it, Dave.
DQ on the stick and Tojo, but now look out. It's 4 against 1. They all jump.
You haven't watched a lot of Phil Hickerson, John.
Tracy's mama, not raising no clue, got out of that ring as quick as he could, and his hand is raised on the disqualification.
4 minutes, 39 seconds. Tracy with a victory.
4:39, and Tracy Smothers glad that he can walk out of there at all, but he walked out as the referee caught P.Y. Chuhai using that kendo stick to clothesline him, and he got him good with it too. And then he was joined by
Name this episode 2,
Shogun
part
and
2.
Samurai, who jumped
Not to
in
be
there.
confusing.
And Yamamoto with his
I'm sure it
nickel for
is.
it. So at least
I hate that, though.
it came out.
The first stream was
Boy,
rocking
this
and
is
rolling.
one time I am glad to see Dutch Mantel and Ricky Morton, because I want to tell them something.
Oh, wait a minute. You can't tell us nothing. You may ask us
You can't
something,
tell
we
us
may tell
nothing.
You something. You're not going to tell us nothing, because what you're paid to do
Says
is
Dutch.
stand here and hold this microphone, which is exactly what you're going to do. I am the new, for the uninformed, I am the world's heavyweight champion. Now, I want to read you something. I'll lay this right here. Now, Dave, don't try to touch it because I know you're jealous of it. You know, some headlines came out in the paper past week, and the national paper said, Lawler era over, Mantel, that's me, new world champ. That's what it said. And now, Louisville, it says Lawler contemplates suicide over loss to Mantel. And a Charlotte Observer said Mantel, new world champ. Lawler reportedly leaving the country, and Atlanta Constitution says, Wrestling World, look out. Mantel, new world's heavyweight champion. We're also going to have a National Enquirer and People magazine going to do a feature on us. But you know, it's funny how things, no, don't tell us, no, we don't want to hear it. You know, a lot of things are going on. See, I beat Jerry Lawler for the world's belt. And then Ricky Morton, he beat Jerry Lawler, and it looks like the Big King, hey, the paper was right. The era is over. The new era is here, and it's my era. Now they want some kind of a match, and we're calling it the San Quentin Showdown. You see these hands?
San Quentin Showdown.
He's going to bring, Lawler's going to bring that bogus, low-life, egg-sucking dog, Wendell Cooley, in the ring. And they're going to take 3 handcuffs. There's 4 guys in a match going to take 3 handcuffs in there, and they're going to put a handcuff on each rope all around the ring. And what we're going to do, we're going to handcuff Wendell Cooley first, and we're going to leave the best for last. We're going to leave the big dethroned king. We're going to whoop him like the low-life dog that he is. And then we're going to handcuff him, and that means we win the match. Plus, after we get our hands raised, we get 2 minutes on them while they're handcuffed. Now, Ricky, you like that idea?
I sure do, Dutch. You know, Jerry Lawler's over here telling all the world, baby, in his backyard, that he is the king, that he can't be beat. What we proved to you, Jerry Lawler, last week, with Dutch Mantel, myself, beat you and Wendell Coolidge. We showed you what it was all about. Well, this week, brother, it's going to be your time to see what you can do with us. But you see, when it comes right down to nitty-grit, Dutch Mantel, Rick
Nitty-grit?
No.
Yeah, well, you guys just better stand here and listen.
I'm digging Ricky, though, right now.
Tell you that you're going to be interested in.
That's right, egg-sucking dog. That was
I
cussing
got
back
something to
then.
tell you
Well,
in
it's
here that's very important. And it
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Boo?
Hey,
What'd you say,
what can
buddy?
you do? Did I try to tell him or didn't I?
Try to tell him.
I tried to tell him.
Hey,
it
Brand
had to
didn't
do
really
with
get
the
up.
championship
He's
belt,
just
and they
gonna
wouldn't
chip.
listen. Let me get that out.
We won't have any of that. There you go.
I was going to tell them it had to do a lot with some big money involved in it, too, but they wouldn't listen, would they? No, they wouldn't do it. So I guess
Russell's
maybe that
hilarious.
what we'll just have to do is share the big news.
Yeah.
I think they heard the word money. Yeah, they heard money.
Not money. I know what it is. It's a personal appearance that you want us to make us something for
Well,
the big
that's
money.
not
Ricky,
exactly-
what do we charge?
$5,000.
Well, that's not exactly what I had in mind. What I wanted to do...
You said something about money. Now, I ain't got all day.
Yeah, I know. I said something about money, and I
I'm
said
the
something
world's
about
champion.
that. I'm going to ask Mr. Coffey if he is out there. Please bring in the official communication. We have heard from the Championship Committee of the Unified Heavyweight Title, and Mr. Guy Coffey. Thank you, Guy. Here, let me
Guy
read this to
Coffey?
him out here. Okay.
Who the fuck is Guy Coffey?
What has he got? He is the representative of the CWA with
Big deal.
Hey, big deal. Will you just
What
say,
is it?
all right, I'm going to tell you what it has to say to CWA officials. This letter is to inform you that the World Championship Committee has reviewed the tape of the title match between Jerry Lawler and Dutch Mantel, in which Ricky Morton was the special referee. After careful consideration, the Championship Committee has ruled that Dutch Mantel's victory be overturned.
Oh, shit. Be hot now, brother.
Nullified. Wait a minute, that's not all.
Wait a minute.
And that the championship revert back to Jerry Lawler.
Oh, of course.
immediately.
Of course.
Hey, wait a minute. Dutch Mantel is instructed to relinquish the world belt to the representative on hand, and furthermore, for his part in what was an obvious collusion, Ricky Morton has been fined $5,000. Hey, that's what it is. It has it right there. You heard what it says. It comes from the Championship Committee. Guy, that's the official communication.
I ain't giving it to nobody.
Give him the belt. You heard what it said.
Right here, you read this right here. It said you will turn over the belt to me right now.
Right there.
You read this right here. You hear what? You see what that says?
Relinquish
Now,
it
what it says,
immediately.
Stand
it
right
says.
there, read it.
Can't
Well,
you
let me
see
show
it?
you
It says-
something here.
Hey,
You
come
see
on,
this right
Judge.
here?
Now, don't start that stuff. Hey,
come
Judge,
He just steps on his
will you
glasses.
quit? Come on, Judge.
This goes classic high school bully on him. Oh, both of them are going bully.
Man, that's ridiculous coming in here. Come on, Judge. You guys, I'm telling you, he's already been fined $5,000. Comes out here and he broke his glasses right down here. Hey, Guy, I'm sorry.
This fucking shirt that Lawler has on, the Adidas.
You okay, guy?
Yeah.
Long sleeve. And the red pants.
Well, I gotta
Those
tell you one thing,
sweats.
that shows you the kind of breeding those two guys got. I thought maybe Ricky Morton had a momentary lapse.
Let me just say this. Yeah, they're real tough. They can take somebody like Mr. Coffey's glasses and break them. That's all you can do. Let me tell you something, Mantel. You know now, you're not the champion. You never were the champion.
Lawler's like, bring that belt back out, buddy.
Okay,
He
we're
called
gonna
him
take a
boo.
break. We'll be back in just a minute.
We got Rodney Napper climbing up in the ring with Chris Frazier right now, set to go with tag team action, and they're coming back this time to be, though, officially in the ring rather than out here standing by. Oh, there.
Well, I tell you, it is just irritating. Is it going on about that Mantel and Morton just burns me up. They pulled something, busted Mr. Coffey's glasses. No call for that. Okay, we got more troublemakers on our hand right here.
More troublemakers.
Tell you what, one fall, 10-minute time limit match.
Imagine Lance Russell going
Rodney
heel.
Napper standing in the ring. His partner in the corner from Mississippi.
Or being like a
Chris
heel
Frazier.
manager.
Masamune,
Impossible.
Shogun Masamune and Samurai
Impossible.
Shinji at a total weight of 530 pounds. Tojo
Who they got?
Yamamoto in the corner, and also out here, P.Y. Chuhai.
Yeah. Well, these guys get that ceremonial sword out. I'm just delighted they didn't today.
Knocking the customs of these people here.
Knock it, yeah, but I've seen you swing that thing around.
Great honor for me to be the one to say, hey, I introduce these people to America, this tag team right here. So, brother, I'm not going to say
Might be him while it's
I
up.
brought the best team. We are going to
He used to do a little side wrestling on the side now.
dominate everything in the wrestling section around here. So all the guys are terrified of these guys. So we're just going to keep on, and we're going to keep on. Finally, we're going to give them the recognition they need. So I'm not going to be talking to you anymore. I'm going to give them my personal advice.
Yeah, great.
There's some advice there
come
for
on,
Tojo.
Tojo.
Kendo stick across the back.
Boy, he is just killing Rodney Napper with that kendo stick. Coming over. Shogun Masamune kicks him right in the head. Tags Samurai Shinji. And they
Samurai
double chop
Shinji.
Napper. Buckled his legs. Hip tossed him over. Stomped down on him. Man, these two guys. And you know the sad thing about it is, Dave.
Who was
both of
Guy
these
Coffey?
guys have a great
Judd?
marriage of the Oriental
Thought we'd
martial arts
go to Google.
and catch-as-catch-can wrestling. I've seen them now in about 4 matches, and they are dynamite. They don't need all of this stuff. But when you got somebody like Yamamoto and P.Y. Chuhai egging them on, you can see the kind of attitude they got. They didn't need much egging either.
Well, they got Chris Frazier in there now after working over Rodney Napper for a while.
Rodney Napper.
Tojo is shouting instructions in Japanese. Dickerson shouting some Japanese too. It looks like he's been to the Tojo Yamamoto school here.
Samurai stands him on his head in a big tall suplex and kicking down on Chris Frazier. Frazier and Napper just have not had
What's
a
up, Brooklyn?
chance into the
Welcome
rope.
in here.
And man, he turned him loose. What a chop he nailed him with. Tag Shogun Masamune, who is up on the ropes, and as he comes down, double chops Chris Frazier right straight down to the mat. Picks him back up again, and there's another tag.
Oh, cut you,
I believe
damn.
they could get the pin right now. They have battered on him with such force. Shogun off the rope. There's that spinning back kick, and he kicked his brains out.
Okay.
Wow. 2, 3.
I knew John was going to bring the knowledge now.
It was just total. Hickerson, P.Y. Chuhai.
Yeah, that first stream,
did
again,
all
I don't
one
think
thing.
it was a copyright issue. I think it was an internet issue on my side. The first I was like, what's going on? But, I mean, nothing has popped up on the back end of
Right
YouTube.
over here. He said they were going to dominate.
Weird.
Well, they dominated this match.
And then it's restarted,
It was
which I
almost
deleted that
total
one. But
domination of this match. As first they worked on
Very
Rodney Napper
strange.
and then Chris Frazier. And finally, after 2 minutes, 41
Very
seconds, they got the
strange.
cover and the victory in the match. And Tojo won't call him off. They're leaving him in there.
No excuse again. I mean, this is the kind of thing that just gets people so upset with guys like that. And look at Yamamoto egging him on, saying,
Yeah.
throw him out. And now, Yamamoto with that, get him out of there, Randy, for crying out loud. They've already beat the stew out of him.
beat the stew
Now
out
they
of him.
stand out here and... Oh, that's
Happy
funny.
Mother's
Yeah,
Day
that's
to any
funny.
mothers that
having
comes through the
fun,
chat.
Boy, real sportsman. Okay. Let's take a look at that spinning back kick that he nailed him with. Man, look at this. Off the ropes into one. He'll go back over and get the slingshot effect off the other rope. It's being held by Samurai. And here comes Shogun. Wham! And I mean, just absolutely kicked the props right out from under him.
Snapped that head back. It was all over at that point.
I mean, it was over before that, but they
actually.
wouldn't end it. That's what
true.
the problem was. Okay, Dave, shoot. Let's go ahead and get into the next match here. We've got another good tag match coming up. I love it. Big
Yes,
action
indeed.
today, buddy.
Boy, another good team here. Look at this. Scott Steiner with Todd Morton up there. Team that weighs in at about 448 pounds. Scott out of Detroit, Michigan. Todd Morton out of Bardstown, Kentucky.
There we go.
Right now,
Fucking Scott
rugged
Steiner,
tag
baby.
team, total of 478. Out of
There we
Montgomery,
go.
Alabama, Jimmy Golden. And out of Tampa, Florida, Frankie the Thumper Lancaster in their corner. Not only downtown Bruno, but that man right there, Robert Fuller, the Tennessee stud.
He's dressed fit to kill today. He's got his big hat on, his suit and tie. And referee Jerry Calhoun says, do it to it. Gentlemen, Jimmy Golden with Scott Steiner. Also, isn't this the fella that lady beat up there
I
a little
think it
bit
is.
ago?
Yeah, the one in the
Oh,
yellow
yeah,
suit there.
downtown Bruno, I see. Well, what's the occasion? You're dressed so fine today.
I am looking real nice, and I let you think I bought this down at the same shop where you get yours. But I didn't, baby. This is an order. This is a pretty piece of suit right here. Let me move on right now to what I'm out here to talk to you about today. I'm talking about a new man in my stable, Frankie Lancaster, and one of the reasons he's made this stable, his attitude, baby. This man right here is just full of the right kind of attitude. You know what I'm talking about?
You've officially signed him into the stable then, right?
That's right. You know, I had times where I came out here to do official signings out here, but I figured that days are over, baby. That some people are talking about. What's wrong? That good ball out or ball over there? What you got over there? Come over here, Red.
Well, that's kind of, oh, yeah, use it as, look at Fuller. Boy, I tell you, he's over there screaming at the referee.
My hair looks real nice. That was very
Yeah, I know you. I remember you from a little earlier. You're the one the lady beat up, I think. Yeah, I believe that's downtown Bruno.
That's one referee right there that's woke up now. He's going to be doing his job.
You got him
right.
straight, huh?
I tear that patch off your shirt, boy, and you can find another place to referee.
Well, in the ring right now, Frankie the Thumper Lancaster, the newest official member of the stud stable, going in with the muscle man from the Motor City, Scott Steiner, and he's a rough one.
You know, Lance, I was talking to you about attitude before we were interrupted. That man right there talks big, Frank Lancaster. Therefore, in order to stay a member of this stable, he's going to have to show me big action. Get out!
Wonder when he first busted out of
Well,
Frankenstein.
look at this. Hey, you're going to get rid of your cousin, too?
A clear case of double teaming, not that. Referee!
Oh, yeah. It sure was, with Golden and Lancaster in the ring at the same time, but Scott Steiner was able to handle the traffic. And Lancaster and Golden back out here, and there's a big powwow complaining about all the things that happened to them. And the Tennessee stud is saying there's one way to correct it. Get back in there and tear them up.
I'll tell you what, these boys are going to get fired up here in a minute. And there's a Mr. Scott Steiner and this Morton that's going down, and I mean going down hard. I don't like rock and roll anyway.
And there goes Fuller again. He's on a tear today. He's back up there giving a little pep talk to gentleman Jimmy Golden. His cousin Lancaster throws Todd Morton off. He grabbed him by the hair and jerked his feet right out from under him. Standing right here and saw it. What was he, patting him on the head?
Jimmy Golden's part. Morton come in there trying to swing at him when he knew he's not the legal man in there in the first place, and Jimmy had to do just what he had to do. And
Damn.
jerked that punk down.
Slingshot into the second turnbuckle. Not sure if I've seen anyone land like that before.
Awfully good young
Yeah, it looks
rookie.
smooth.
Meeting some hard times as the thumper on the reverse neck breaker slams him down into the mat. Now the smiles are starting to come out. Tag goes from Thumper to Golden, and Golden takes
You know
over.
something, Lance? That boy there in there wrestling right there, he's not old enough to be in a professional wrestling ring in the first place. And I know it because I wrestled him the other night, and he whines and he cries when you get him in that position right there. And that's a half a man that does
Damn,
Hey,
half
one
a
of the best
man.
young guys to
Shit.
come along in a while, I'll tell you. That's my opinion. That's
He's
true.
there now, tears dripping on his chest.
Okay, I want to see a whine and cry out of this guy. Big Scott Steiner is in there. Slams ahead of Lancaster. Yeah, he is double teaming Bim. You heard what Fuller said. That's a kind of convoluted logic that you can find in the stud stable. Oh, and a pile driver the referee didn't see. Count of one, count of two, count of three. Todd Morton slammed down by Golden. The thumper in Golden's hands up in the air. And the
23.
4 minutes and 22 seconds. We got to take time out. More wrestling and the big expiration of time still to come.
Big heart of action, 5 big matches, Evansville Coliseum Wednesday night.
This is January
Return
28th.
tag team match for the main event. Dirty Dutch Mantel and Rick Morton take on Wendell Cooley and Jerry the King Lawler. Special
my note here right on the-
penalty match. This is how it works. If Adrian Street loses, Garvin gets his music right. If Bill Dundee
it's fucked
loses,
up
he's going to
on
have his
YouTube.
head shaved. If Downtown Bruno loses, he leaves town. The Beast loses, the good guys get 5 minutes with Garvin. If the Beauty loses, Dundee gets his suit back. If the lovely Linda loses, Garvin gets 5 minutes with her alone. Beauty and the Beast with Downtown Bruno against superstar Bill Dundee, the exotic Adrian Street, and the lovely Linda. All that action Wednesday night at the Coliseum.
That's right, Michael St. John. I've been in an awful lot of matches down there at 400 Court Street, but this is the first time I've ever been on a 6-man tag with a stipulation like this. Well, if it's a first for this kind of match, let's be a first for how it's going to end. If we beat them all, if Adrian beats one, I beat one, and Linda beats one, there's a whole lot of stipulations end up the same way. There's nobody talked about that. Well, we're going to find out if that'll happen, because that's exactly what's going to happen. Garvin, I'm taking you out, and Adrian or Miss Linda's going to take one or the other out, and it doesn't really make what difference which one it is. I want the suit back, and I'm getting it back, brother. So, Garvin, you're mine, punk.
There's a whole lot of stipulations going on. Goofy and the Beast, what a joke. I mean, when I stride to the ring, I turn heads. When Garvin minces or waddles to the ring, he turns stomach.
Waddles.
As far as I'm concerned, he looks like a fat, horrible little ugly duckling trying to imitate a beautiful swan. If you want to imitate me,
Starting February
Garvin, why don't you try to
89
imitate
next
some of my
week.
wrestling skills? Then you might get
Hopefully with
somewhere.
no hiccups.
All that action coming up.
We were rolling
Wednesday
really
night,
good
Evansville
there on the
Coliseum,
last one,
5
and
big matches, including the return
really
tag
messed
team
it
match
up.
with Mantel
I
and
know
Rick
YouTube's
Morton
terrible
against
at letting
Wendell
people
Cooley
know
and
I've
Jerry the King
restarted.
Lawler.
Try to share it
CWA
back
tag
out,
team
but-
match. Robert Fuller, Jimmy Golden with Sylvia against Tracy Smothers and Jeff Jarrett, plus the big 6-man penalty match. See you Wednesday night.
We've got our big expiration of time match coming up here in just a moment. And that's going to put the King, Jerry Lawler, and Wildcat Wendell
Main
Cooley
event time.
against the Beauty and the Beast. And while they're putting down that pink mat, which the Beauty and the Beast always wrestle on, we're going to take a second to talk to the King and Wildcat Wendell Cooley.
What I want to do is I want to see if Dutch Mantel has got any guts at all. Dutch Mantel, if you're half the man you say you are, because you're no longer the champion, you'll come out here right now and bring me my World Heavyweight Championship belt. Is that right? Because, like I said, Dutch, you're not the champion. And as far as I'm concerned, as far as the fans are concerned, and obviously as far as the championship committee is concerned, you never were the champion, brother. You and Rick Morton got together. You pulled your little stunt. Well, it got you by to pose as a champion for 2 weeks. But that's all. So I hope you didn't get too used to having that belt around your waist, because I promise you, you'll never have it around there again if I got anything to do with it.
Well, simple statement from the king about Mantel.
I just want to say something real short and sweet to you, Ricky Morton. You made yourself a nasty bed, pal, and now you're going to have to deal with it.
Let's talk for just 1 second. I know they want us in the ring. The San Quentin Showdown, boys. That's the time where we don't worry about pinning anybody.
Like, it ain't going to take us a minute to beat whatever jobbers we got to face here.
Referee in the ring to pull us off of you. You'll just be there and you'll be handcuffed, shackled to those ropes, and it'll be me and Wendell Cooley to just have our way with the both of you, and that's exactly what's going to happen.
Okay, it's going to be an interesting match when it comes about. There's no question about that. Okay, this is going to be an interesting match also, as Lawler and Cooley will be in there against the Beauty and the Beast. And here they come out with Downtown Bruno acting as valet Terrence Garver and Mark Goulin.
It's going to be an expiration of time.
There's only 2 minutes left here.
Terrence Garvin, Mark Goulin, Beauty and the Beast on one side of the ring.
End in some kind of
weigh in at about
schmoz.
465 pounds, and at about the same weight across the way. It's Wendell Cooley in the ring right now, and his partner, the King, Jerry Lawler. Here we go with Cooley against the Beast, Mark Goulin, back to the corner. Garvin holds him up in the corner while Goulin nailed him with a right fist. Look at this.
And it's off the rails.
Right off the bat. Now look out. Mantel and Morton hit the ring. And go after Cooley and Lawler.
Well, I guess I didn't expect any more, any less out of them. They come jumping in here. The bout hadn't really gotten started. And look at that goofy Garvin, that laugh of his, and the way he skips around up there drives me crazy. Lawler down with Morton pounding on him, and
yeah, this one just broke loose.
Help out of Mark Goulin over there on Wildcat Wendell Cooley.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, Morton is really beating up on Lawler here. He had him grinding his face down into the mat, then hitting him with a right fist. Off the rope, Rick Morton.
Okay, I'll tell you, we're gonna take a break, and we're gonna be back here, and we'll check this action. It's not over by a long shot.
Cooley and Lawler, just the numbers got them. Downtown Bruno out there directing traffic. I like this team of Dutch and Ricky, though.
In there, by golly, we're just flat out of it. Hey, Dave, I want to be sure for anybody who got in here late to tell them that we got the official communication from the Unification Heavyweight Championship Committee, and they reversed that bogus win that Dutch Mantel.
So the true champion is still Lawler.
Morton in here, and those stupid guys take it out.
According to the committee.
Guy Coffey, who is the representative, busted his glass.
That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, next week we will start with January 4th, 1989. Yeah, again, sorry for the hiccup that happened here tonight. It did ruin the flow, but both of them are still in the archive either way, and we'll be going into episode 3 next week. Thanks everyone for coming through. I really appreciate it. Lisa, thank you. Keep me updated on the stuff. John, good seeing you. Everybody that came through from the Buzz Nation, thank you very much. Next week, 8 p.m. Eastern. Let's make this a weekly thing, watching classic wrestling, Memphis wrestling from 1989. Thanks, guys. Let's get out.